If you're just joining us, we are walking through Holy Week with Jesus, and we're taking a look at each day, what happened during this Holy Week. And today is Holy Wednesday, and today is a unique day in history because when you read through all the four Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, you read the story of Jesus, and there's a lot about the last 3 days. There's some about the first couple days, but this is Holy Wednesday. And if you scour and read through all of what happened in the last week of Jesus' life, you will find nothing which happens on this Wednesday. Now, what did Jesus do? We have no idea. It was not recorded. But I think there's actually a lesson that's helpful for us as we think about this. During the last week of Jesus' life, the whole purpose of him coming was for this last week, Jesus took a day off. Think about that. Jesus took a day off during the Holy Week to rest and delight. There's a book that's written by Dan Allender on Sabbath, and it has a couple things that I just think are so helpful for us because the whole idea of resting or delighting is something that we have difficulty with. He writes this: "It is nearly impossible to believe that God wants us to have a day of wonder, delight, and joy. It is more than unbelievable. It's often a burden to consider the Sabbath as a play day with God and others. As much as we may clamor for joy and freedom, when it's offered, it's often too painful to receive and to celebrate. In part, the pain is because we know our momentary dance will not last. It is easier to hold on to sorrow than to let go of joy." And he writes about the Sabbath a little bit later. "It is the queen of all days, the day in which division, destitution, and death are put aside to celebrate our union with God, the abundance of his love, and the wild hope of the coming kingdom." A day of delight and joy. I remember a number of years ago having a conversation with a younger guy in our church, and he was asking me a question about what is the Sabbath? Is it just simply a day that we associate with going to church and then you get caught up on all the things you need to do before the next day? Or just watch football for 10 straight hours, which I don't think is necessarily the most replenishing type of experience. But the whole idea of Sabbath as a day of delighting in God. Do you have a day like that? Many of you wish, man, if I just had a day, what would I do on that? In fact, he writes in this book, this question, I think it's a great one. What would I do for a 24-hour period of time if the only criteria was to pursue my deepest joy? Pursuing my deepest joy for 24 hours. What would you do? Maybe some of you would cook. Some of you might just delight in eating. Or maybe you'd play. Maybe you would catch up on some things that you weren't able to watch. Or maybe you would read. Maybe you would take a walk or you'd go for a hike. Something that would replenish you. On the last week of Jesus' life, Jesus took a day off. How about you? If Jesus needed a day off, how much more do we? And when we read the Old Testament, it was not just a suggestion, it was actually a command. Take a day and rest and to delight. So the simple word for you for this day is, what would you do for a 24-hour period to pursue your deepest joy? To find a rest and replenishment of your soul and spirit. Life takes it out of us, and we need a day to replenish our souls. It may be a Sunday for some of us. The Jews practice it on a Saturday. Some of you work on a Saturday and a Sunday, and you find that really difficult, and you only have a day off like on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. Find a day where you can not check your email, not get caught up on the things that you didn't get caught up on that week, but just to find delight in God, delight with other people. It's a gift that God has given to us. We are given the gift of a day, a Sabbath. We'll see you next time.